Hotel Mysterious Lakeside Resort. Mutant Fish Terror. The Lakeshore Crown Resort sat like a jewel on the edge of a dark, glassy lake in the mountains. Tourists flocked here every summer, drawn by its wooden docks, cozy rooms, and promises of peace far from the city. But this season was different. The peace was a facade. 3 days ago, a honeymoon couple had checked in, only to vanish without a trace. 2 nights later, a college girl who went for a late swim didn't return. By the time the sun rose, her towel was still folded on the dock, her sandals lined neatly beside it, like she had simply stepped into the water and dissolved into the blackness. The manager, Mr. Renwick, insisted it was a tragic string of accidents and kept the resort open. The staff whispered otherwise, about strange ripples at night, odd shadows moving beneath the surface, and the low, guttural hum that sometimes vibrated through the dock boards. Arrival of the outsiders. On a misty Thursday morning, 2 outsiders arrived. Hannah Price, a travel blogger with a knack for digging into local mysteries. She had read the news of the disappearances and booked a room under a fake name. Eli Moran, a marine biologist who had once worked at a private lab, rumored to have been conducting genetic experiments on deep-water predators.
He didn't tell Hannah this, not yet.
They met at breakfast in the Lakeside Cafe. Hannah was snapping photos of the placid water when she noticed Eli's eyes lingering on it with a different expression, not admiration, but calculation. "You're not here for the fishing, are you?" she asked. He hesitated. "Not exactly. Let's just say, I know something about this lake most people don't." The lab beneath the lake. That night, Eli finally told her. 5 years ago, the lake's far end had been leased to a water research facility. In reality, it was a genetic lab modifying aquatic life for bioweapon contracts. The lead project was Subject Delta 9, a splicing of pike, eel, and deep-sea fangtooth DNA. It was designed to survive in both fresh and salt water, regenerate damaged tissue, and withstand chemical warfare agents. They shut it down after an incident, Eli said grimly. But the specimens were never recovered. They swore they were destroyed. I didn't believe them. Hannah's hands tightened on her coffee mug. "And now you think one's here?" "I think it's grown. And it's hunting." The first night watch. They agreed to stake out the dock under cover of darkness. Just after midnight, they heard it. Slosh, slosh, something massive cutting through the water just beyond the lantern's reach. Hannah raised her camera and caught a brief, chilling glimpse, a thick dorsal ridge breaking the surface, jagged like broken glass, then vanishing again. A moment later, a wet, gurgling screech echoed from under the dock, and the planks vibrated beneath their feet. "That's no fish," Hannah whispered. Before Eli could respond, a pale arm shot out from the water, not human, but jointed like one, its webbed claws raking across the boards before sliding back under. Panic at the resort. The next morning, chaos erupted. A maid had vanished while cleaning one of the boathouses. All they found was her mop floating near the shore, dripping red. Guests checked out in droves, but Mr. Renwick still refused to close the resort. There was too much money at stake. Hannah confronted him. "People are dying." Renwick's eyes flicked nervously toward the lake. "You think you understand what's going on here? This place is under contract. If I break it, I lose everything." Eli's jaw tightened. "Contract with who?" Renwick didn't answer. He walked away. Discovery of the hatch. Hannah and Eli began searching the shoreline. At the far end, past the abandoned paddle boat rental, they found a half-sunken boathouse. Inside, beneath the warped floorboards, Eli spotted a rusted steel hatch, the kind used in industrial facilities. They pried it open and descended into darkness, their flashlights cutting narrow beams through the damp air. What they found was worse than either had imagined. A submerged lab corridor, its glass walls cracked and fogged, leading to a flooded chamber filled with drifting debris, chairs, lab tables, skeletons of long-dead fish. And something else. Through the murky water beyond the glass, a shape moved. It was huge, gliding in slow arcs. As it passed closer, Hannah's stomach turned. Its head was wide and flat like a pike's, but with jaws lined in double rows of needle-like teeth. Its eyes were clouded milky white, yet she felt them lock on her. "That's Delta 9, Eli whispered. "And it's not trapped anymore." The feeding frenzy. That night, the lake boiled. Guests who ignored the warnings and went for an evening boat ride never returned. Hannah and Eli watched helplessly from the dock as the surface erupted with splashes, screams, and flashes of white teeth. A canoe was pulled under so fast it didn't even flip. It simply vanished into the dark. One of the surviving guests, a teenage boy, stumbled ashore screaming that the water has hands. The plan to end it. Eli knew they couldn't outgun the creature. It was too fast in the water. But the old lab schematics, which he still had on a USB drive, showed a hidden maintenance tunnel leading to the main filtration chamber. If they could lure the fish into it and seal the gate, they could pump in enough chlorine to kill it. It was a one-way trip. Someone would have to go into the water to draw it in. "I'll do it," Eli said. "I helped create it. I'm ending it."
Hannah grabbed his arm. "You'll die."
"I know." Into the depths. They suited up in old diving gear from the boathouse and crept into the tunnel entrance. The water was bone cold, black as ink. Their flashlights barely pierced it. The first sign the creature was near came as a sudden current against Hannah's leg, strong as a tide. Then, from the gloom, two ghost white eyes appeared, followed by that impossible jaw opening wider than any fish's should. Eli shouted through his rebreather, banging a wrench against the tunnel wall to draw it closer. The mutant surged after him. The final struggle. Hannah swam ahead, reaching the filtration chamber's controls. Her fingers shook as she slammed the gate lever down. The massive steel doors began to slide shut, but the fish was too fast. It rammed the opening, jaws snapping inches from Eli's mask. He shoved the wrench deep into its mouth. The fish thrashed violently, the tunnel filling with turbulence. With a final, guttural roar, Eli kicked himself free and slammed the emergency lock. The gates sealed with a deafening clang. Silence on the lake. They pumped the chlorine in. For nearly an hour, the chamber shook with the fish's rage. Then, silence. By dawn, the lake was eerily calm again. Hannah stood on the dock, staring out at the still water. "Do you think it was the only one?" Eli didn't answer right away. Finally, he said, "It should have been. But if there were eggs..." They both looked toward the far end of the lake, where faint ripples were already spreading. The Lakeshore Crown Resort quietly closed for the season. No official reason was given. Locals say it'll never open again. But sometimes, late at night, they claim to hear a low, guttural hum echoing across the water.